Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and I am back with the CoffeeCast Open Tournament. In this matchup, we are seeing aciesPure battle aciesSpawn in a best-of-3 in the winner's bracket. So the loser of this game will go to the loser's bracket and face the winner of B vs Light Kite, which could be an explosive matchup down there of its own. I really wish I could cast all these games, but I really got to get this tournament moving on because it is getting late, and we have a best-of-7 finals to cover. aciesPure is spawning as the red Protoss player on the left side here of GSL Terminus, and over here on the right side we have aciesSpawn spawning as the blue Zerg, who is up 1-0 in this matchup by doing a two-base aggression timing attack. Was able to take out aciesPure in the first game. However, aciesPure, not one to be befuddled by a mere loss, could definitely still come back to win this game. And it is anybody's series at this point in time. So that once again, this is game number 2 in the winner's bracket. aciesSpawn going for the spawning pool first. Trying to make an agreement that he will not make Mutalisk if Pure does not make Stalkers. I do not think that that is a very fair trade at all, though, for aciesPure, and I doubt he will take that. I guess, yeah, there's always that Zealot Archon option, and I'm going to laugh if he actually follows through with this. Technically, if he loses this series, once again, it is not too big of a deal, as he can still come down to the loser's bracket. However, nobody wants to just force themselves down to the loser's bracket. I would recommend that they make all the units. I would definitely recommend that. aciesPure setting himself up for a Forge fast expand. Does have that Forge down on the low ground now. And the spawning pool did come first, so he does need to lay down the cannon before laying down the Nexus. Now, if you do scout that they are going hatchery first, then you can totally lay down your Nexus before the cannon, and that just gets your Nexus up just a little bit earlier, which is always nice. However, once again, with these Zerglings on the field so early on, you really do have to put down that cannon, that cannon first, just to be safe. He is beginning to complete his wall off here. Could probably use another gateway, actually. These Zerglings could run all the way down and around and get up the ramp, which would be so annoying. But I do not think that aciesSpawn has scouted where aciesPure is quite yet. Indeed, Spawn is going to the top. Pure will have plenty of time to react. It's getting down a second cannon, and he will be just fine. I don't think these Zerglings were ever meant to do any damage, just really to scout out, and it would have been it really would have been an added bonus getting into aciesPure's mineral line this early in the game. But that is not too big of a deal, as once again, we don't even have to worry about it. Pylon does go down to completely finish up this wall. And the reason aciesPure did that, this is very easy. Later on in the game, he can destroy this to get out, but early on in the game, the Zerg has to take extra time to delete the pylon. That was a great choice of words there, Coffee. Spawn has to take extra time to destroy the pylon to be able to get into Pure's base. And that's just extra time for these cannons to be wailing away at Spawn's units. It's an excellent time for Pure's units to be wailing away at Spawn's units. That just overall benefits the Protoss player. The Nexus is now up, Chrono boosting the probes out as fast as he possibly can. No gas yet, just now laying down his first gas geyser, which isn't a big deal because the cybernetic score has not yet been started. But really, you want, even with a Forge fast expand, you want that cybernetic score to be done by the 6-minute mark, maybe the 6:30 at the latest. So Pure's really delaying that in order just to get a lot of probes out. There it goes down now, just a little bit later than a lot of the professional players probably would like it to go down. But that is not a big deal at all. The Zerg now going for a Spanishiwa type of play, just getting a lot of drones early on in the game and then throwing down 4 extractors at once. This allows you to get a very nice economic lead early on and then tech up super fast, get a lot of units out very fast, which can prove to be quite the hassle for a Protoss player who's looking to play a passive-aggressive game. Now, this Zealot was able to clean up some scouting Zerglings, so Pure will have complete map control for a little bit of time here. Can really just run around, do whatever he wants on the map, take watchtowers, poke around into Spawn's base, but he is not going to. He is just going to sit around back here on this first Zelnaga watchtower nearest his base. In the meantime, Warp Gate Tech has begun, and a robotics facility has begun as well. So Pure now following through with his idea of Zealot Archon. However, he could just be using this for an Observer, which is perfectly fine. However, Immortals will more likely than not come out because a Roach Warren did just finish up. And with these 4 gases, aciesSpawn could get upgrades extremely quickly and go for some sort of really nasty Roach timing attack. I've actually gone against that before. 1 Roach Warren, 2 Evo Chambers, and a 3rd hatchery, a macro hatch. And when you take these gases so quickly, you can do a crap load of damage with a very hardcore Roach bust with 1/1 Roaches. But no, instead, aciesSpawn will indeed be going for that 3rd base, which I actually do like more on a large map like Terminus. This is actually the biggest map, I believe, in the GSL map pool, and pretty much any map pool out there. So it tends to favor for a very heavy macro game. A 3rd base is very easy to take. As you see here, you have your main base coming down the ramp. You have this 1 entrance right here to your natural, and then coming down, here is your 3rd base with rocks defending the back. It is very, very easy to secure, especially in the early game. So if players are looking to do any sort of 3-base strategy, this is a perfect map to do it on. And I just happen to know that aciesPure loves this map because, once again, he just likes playing a very passive Protoss style. Now, the interesting thing is that a lot of Protoss players are switching over to a much more aggressive style. The Stargate play has been becoming extraordinarily popular for Protoss players, just opening Stargate and then doing a ground attack as well to complement Void Rays. But really, I mean, that does not mean by any right that the strategy aciesPure is going for is out of style. I mean, it's still extraordinarily popular. We have a Nidus network on the way. Holy crap, we do have the +1/+1 coming out for aciesSpawn. I really, really like that play. The Nidus network is kind of hidden in the back of his base. I don't know if the Observer is going to fly straight over this, so he's going to be able to see this, and that's going to completely ruin the element of supply. You can see aciesPure selecting that Observer, so once again, flew right over that Nidus network. We'll be prepared for that. The Overlord is coming in position to try to lay down the Nidus Worm in the back of aciesPure's 3rd base, and it looks like it is coming up now. I don't know if aciesPure is going to be ready in time for this. He does not really have all that many units out to defend, mainly relying on his wall to be able to save him. However, these Nidus Worms, only 200 health. That might not go up in time. It's going to be kind of close. No, indeed, he should not start rallying units onto that, and he does not. Should probably run that Overlord away if he wants to do this again. I really, really like the Nidus play, though. If he could find a spot, maybe over here in the back, put a Nidus down here, and now you see all of aciesPure's units are drawn to the bottom. Put a Nidus down here, force the drawback, then put a Nidus up top. That could be an extraordinarily devastating strategy. That's actually exactly what I want to see right now. In the meantime, though, aciesPure is going to be able to start bulking up his forces. Is getting blink tech right now, which I really, really like, especially with that Observer combination. We'll be able to blink up onto the high ground, do a little bit of harass, and then blink back down. Tunneling Claws is on the way for our Zerg player, and that'll just allow him to move underground. He does already have Glial Reconstitution, which allows him to just regenerate very quickly. Nope, Glial, I always get that messed up. Glial Reconstitution is the Roach movement speed. I always get those 2 upgrades mixed up. We also have a Baneling next, and a ton of Zerglings on the way. Oh, and Overlord drop. We are seeing all sorts of different interesting play out of aciesSpawn here, doing his best to make sure that none of this really gets scouted out. Unfortunately, the Nidus network was scouted out, so aciesPure was ready for that, but it's currently 130 to 78 supply, and aciesSpawn seems to be very committed to doing some sort of 3-base strategy. There is yet another Overlord now with speed coming over here, probably to drop yet another Nidus network. Indeed, there goes the Nidus network right there. Some of these gateways might act as kind of an inhibitor to the Protoss units trying to get up and stop the Nidus network, but the Nidus network is going up, and there are no Protoss units rallying up to try to stop it. The Nidus network is now completed inside the Protoss main base, and there's the response, and there is nothing coming out of it. A very, very bad reaction by aciesSpawn. He had aciesPure caught completely off guard and did absolutely nothing with that lead. All aciesPure needs to do now is focus fire that Nidus Worm down. Yes, indeed, he has all these units stuck in his base. No, the Nidus network is still up and letting units out. So now it is force fielded off. No units can spawn this way. If Spawn had put the rally point over in this direction, though, more units would have been able to come out. Very, very awful engagement by aciesSpawn. I hate to say it so bluntly, but he wasted a complete opportunity right there. He had aciesPure caught completely off guard. His army was caught with their pants down right down here, and his own force. I mean, that Nidus network had completely finished before Pure even had any sort of response for it. Looks like we may be seeing Overlord drops, though. 4 roaches loaded up into 1 Overlord. That's not really going to do all that much damage. It's going to need a couple of more Overlords, I feel, to be able to do any sort of damage with a roach drop. There goes a second Overlord. Looked like we were going to be seeing a multiplied drop, a multi-pronged drop out of aciesSpawn, which is going to be very, very successful, I feel, and especially in combination with a Nidus network somewhere, this could do a lot of damage. So I would expect to see a Nidus network probably somewhere up top here after roaches are dropped down at the bottom. That'll force the army to split up, force Pure to micromanage, and that'll really favor Spawn in that engagement. However, we do have double Colossus production on the way. A lot of Colossus out on the field already. 3 is that on the field? Yes, we do have 3 Colossus, and Blink Stalkers are running around. We did hear that pylon going down now, as well as the second pylon. So all sorts of units are able to get out of the base. Pure needs to make sure just not to get supply blocked after killing those 2 pylons. We do have 1 Overlord down here, ready to drop roaches. This Nidus network is going up down at the bottom. I do not know where the Protoss army is. The Protoss army is all running up north to stop a 4 roach drop. In the meantime, though, the Nidus network is almost complete down here at the south side in Pure's third base, and this time it looks like Spawn is ready and still not rallying units out. There we go, now rallying his units out. This will be very, very effective attack. Where is the army for aciesPure? It is all the way up in the secondary expansion so far still, but I do not know if Spawn has the unit composition or the unit numbers to be able to deal with the forces from Pure. There's a lot going on right now. However, it does look like beautiful forces do trap the roaches in between all those forces. Roaches cannot retreat back into the Nidus network. All those roaches will indeed go down. This Nidus network will go down as well. 4 roaches do still remain in the main base of aciesPure, though. Did not leave enough units back to clean up that army. But he was able to clean up the Nidus network. Now Pure could fall back into his main. Not much damage was sustained. Only a little bit of a supply block, which can be fixed up with just a couple of quick pylons, which we see Pure dropping right there. Once again, I think a little bit of an unsuccessful attack from aciesSpawn. I feel like he could be doing a lot more in this game. It looks like we do have another Nidus network coming up. And probes actually being pulled off the line. Probes actually do counter a Nidus worm very effectively. And as you see, just a little bit of a surround from 10 probes was able to take that out almost instantly before it got up. Very, very nice a hold by aciesPure. Very nice map awareness as well. A lot of roaches being made, but against this composition, that is not what he needs. Getting the Spire out to get Corruptors, but it might be a little bit late, because aciesPure looks like he wants to be aggressive now. We do have the Warp Prism all the way, which will allow for either drops or just an easy reinforcement into the army. A bunch of Banelings did get morphed in, so Spawn is a little bit vulnerable right now. aciesPure did decide to move in, but no, Pure deciding not to move in quite yet. Now is not the time for him. Weapons level 3 just now finishing up, so it will be 0-3 for Pure, 2-2 now for Spawn. So really no upgrade advantage. I'd actually give a slight advantage to Spawn in that, right, just because of the 2 armor upgrades. It looks like we will be seeing our engagement here, though. Not the entire army for aciesSpawn was used, though, and some force fields do allow Pure to get a lot of damage done before Spawn can really respawn. Whoop, pulling up the menu there by accident. Now, there are some Banelings in these Overlords. Very bad positioning by the Overlords. They're just going to let these Banelings die to the army, not dropping those over the army at all. And it looks like Spawn is really just losing his advantage that he had in this game. I don't really know if there's much Spawn can do. He does have a very, very nice supply lead, 199 to 149. However, aciesPure has a beautiful army composition and a lot of Colossus in the army. The Colossus do get into the front line, and 2 Colossus do fall instantly to those roaches. The roaches are now all over the army's grill. A couple of Baneling shots going off, but I don't think those went off in quite the right place. The High Templar did run up into the forefront of the army. 162 to 113 supply. The roaches doing quite a bit of damage, getting to surround all of these Stalkers. The Stalkers do have Blink. Nothing to take out the Warp Prism, unfortunately. 2 Colossus do remain, as well as an Immortal. And now aciesSpawn losing a lot of units, trying to re-macro up an army, making 18 roaches and 10 Zerglings. However, once again, the composition heavily in favor of our Protoss player. 133 to 119 supply, but that is not too big of a deal. Beautiful micro from aciesPure to get those hurt Stalkers to the back, and the Stalkers that he did not want to get hit by the Banelings to the back. Very nice blink control, and that's one thing I know aciesPure is great at and practices a lot, is his blink micro, and just his micro in general. So now we have aciesSpawn sitting in a rather precarious position. That egg almost actually got taken out. That is not something you see too often. Spinecrawler in a bad place, not having any reinforcements, and this is going to be kind of the final push here for aciesSpawn. If he can hold this off, he will be able to win this matchup. However, he is not going to be able to hold off because there are just not enough roaches here. beautiful blink micro from aciesPure, blinking the Starcraft, but now all the roaches, all the drones do come off the middle line, do get the surround on the Colossus. The Colossus does fall, and this might actually swing into aciesSpawn's favor. 118 to 72 supply. A lot of the Stalkers are falling. The Queen is even getting into the battle, and aciesSpawn has had a miracle hold in this game, and there's the LOL, and just the leave from aciesPure. What an incredible comeback for aciesSpawn, who had just not a good composition against aciesPure, and my goodness, just with an overwhelming number of roaches, was able to win that game. So aciesSpawn will take that series 2-0, and aciesPure will fall into the losers bracket. A very, very nice game out of those players, and I am looking forward to casting more of those games. And what do we have here?